guys, to everyone. It's Ada from Toys and Rock, and today I have the pleasure to have with me Bryce Van Hoosen from Silver Talon, and I'm really happy to have you here. First of all, how are you? How's it going?
Going good. I'm doing well. We just got a new single out, so yeah, I hope
Yeah,
everyone's enjoying
yeah.
that.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on, a tour happening, and other live shows happening, and I'm really happy to get an interview. And also, I have to make a shout out to the to Leather, the only one love of my life, Leather Leone. I
Yes.
call it the queen of, because of course I she surrounded herself with super talented musicians. She always did, and I had to interview you also because she suggested me that. I want to give this highlight to her. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so, Bryce, before just jumping to talk about also Silver Talon, because it's your main project, I want to ask about you, Bryce, as a guitarist, how you just
Mhm.
ended up with guitar, because I know it's a easy, is it not, it's not an easy instrument, but it's, it's a
Right.
instrument everyone like have started with guitar, piano, okay, but what are, who was Bryce growing up? Like your
Yeah.
music journey, like mainly from your own perspective.
Yeah, so I actually started with bass because I thought that guitar was going to be too hard. I had a lot of friends that played guitar, back in like the early 2000s when I
Yeah,
was just picking up the instrument. And they would kind of let me play around with it a little bit, and like the coordination of trying to do more than one thing with
yeah.
more than one finger just seemed really difficult to me. So I went out and I bought a bass, right? Just four strings.
Which bass
Um,
was? I'm curious. I'm a bass player too, so.
so it was just a Squire precision bass. It was like
Okay.
$100, it was like the cheapest thing that I could get,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's a good bass, right? It's a good
Yeah, it
good
is.
starter. So
Yeah.
um so yeah, I got that, and I was still am, but I grew up and I was basically just a punk, right? Playing punk
Yeah.
rock. So it was like three chords, and
Yeah.
so I had the bass and I just started writing a bunch of punk songs. All you
It-
need are three chords, and then there you go. So
it's kind of,
um
yeah.
yeah, so I started my first punk band, which was called Vicio.
Visual. Okay.
um, yeah, and which I think means vice in Spanish. I don't know. I wanted to call it something
Yeah.
else, but Vicio it was.
But that sounds
Um,
good though.
yeah, yeah, it was cool. And then after that, I kind of got bored with bass, and I moved on to
It's too
guitar.
easy. Like now it's too easy and it's
Yeah,
something more
exactly. Yeah,
complicated.
yeah. So I was still a punk, and but then I was writing three chord power chord songs, right? Because then I was like, cool, I can just do, one shape with my fingers,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's it. So, and then fast forward, like I, I heard like Yngwie Malmsteen, and I was like, wow, this is really cool.
It's
Um,
really,
you know, there was at the Guitar Center where I bought my first bass and guitar and like first few guitars. They had this massive picture of the Aussie picture with Randy Rhoads on the
yeah,
wall,
yeah,
where he's like
yeah.
holding him up by the leg. And I just remember looking at that and being like, God damn, like this is so sick. Like
Yeah.
guitar is so cool. So that kind of started my lifelong sort of obsession with like V-shaped guitars and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So
I mean, we can see in your background as well.
yeah, exactly. I got plenty of them. So
Yeah.
um yeah, and then just kind of going from there, like trying to get better and better and that sort of thing, and trying to get really inspired by guys like Randy and Ingve and
Yeah.
Andy LaRock from King Diamond, that sort of thing.
You just got
um
the collaboration with that. Yeah, I read that.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I, I what did I do? I just practiced a whole lot. And then I joined a band called Spellcaster in, I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe like a decade ago. We did that. That kind of got me started with, the touring circuit, that sort of thing.
To just
Put out some records. And so that
just
got
get to know
my,
the business, let's say.
yeah, exactly. So that was kind of my, foot in the door of like the actual, being
Like
a real musician, right?
even
Yeah.
punkers are real musicians. Even
Well, true, true, true. But we never like we didn't ever record. We just kind of
yeah,
played a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
shows,
For fun,
that
yeah,
sort of thing. And
yeah.
so this was kind of more like, serious. It was
And
like
it is
talking to record labels, that sort of
that's
thing. Um,
okay. And how
yeah.
you went from Spellcaster to Silver Talon then?
Oh, Spellcaster just kind of dissolved. It was really,
Oh,
yeah, we were all super young,
yeah,
in our 20s. We drank a lot, did a lot of drugs, that sort of thing. We
that's
kind of
so
thought
cool.
that like the Motley Crue life was sort of like the playbook of like what you just did when you were in a
Yeah,
band, right?
but
Um, so we did that, except we had no money, right? We're broke, completely broke. And yeah, it just sort of dissolved, right? Like
yeah,
people started clashing.
yeah, also
Certain people
growing
left
up
the
with,
band.
yeah,
Sebastian, who you interviewed, right?
yeah,
He joined for like the last tour that we had in
really,
Spellcaster.
really,
Um, and so then, we sort of just broke
yeah,
apart, right? The singer that we had at the time came in and he just quit.
yeah,
He just kind of wanted to go do his own thing.
yeah,
So then that left like me, Sebastian, and then Gabe and Colin, who are also in
okay,
Unto
also other
Others.
groups, yeah,
And then from there, I wasn't really kind of vibing with sort of what they were
doing,
doing.
yeah,
It was a little bit more simplistic, I guess, than I
okay,
necessarily wanted. So at first we sort of were like, well, we'll just kind of split the difference, and then we'll have
okay,
these two bands, and it
okay,
was it was Unto Others, and then Silver Talon. You
okay,
know, yeah, right. Spellcaster splits into two
okay,
bands.
okay,
We
okay,
get different singers,
okay,
and then the Unto Other stuff just kind of took off, and they got way too busy. So then Silver Talon just kind of became its own thing, sort of after that. So
and so it's, let's say that that's, of course, I knew it, like that you were a friend of Sebastian. That's also why the friendship still keep on going.
yeah,
Like you
yes,
kind
yeah,
of,
absolutely, yeah,
yeah,
love
that's
that guy.
yeah, it's really also super talented guitarist as well, like you. And as I said, I've been hearing from people in Italy, especially when you performed in a, you were with Leather in a Ikipetru, I guess you were in Ikipetru.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I heard if they say that you're one of the most talented guitarists in the scene right now.
Wow. Well, thank you. I don't
It
know if I
was
would
you.
agree, but I
It was
appreciate
you.
it.
Is Sebastian and
Hmm.
this other guy from, he's a friend of mine, other guy, friend of mine from Wings of Steel, Parker.
Oh, okay, okay.
That
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
sick.
new kind of get different, let's say, genre, different influences, but as a talent that
Yeah,
is like people, all the eyes are on you. Like,
hell yeah.
and there will
Well,
be,
yeah, I appreciate that.
no, that's true. Have been hearing that like since you performed 1 year. I was supposed to be there 1 year ago, but I'm coming back with Silver Talon. So you started, I see here, around like 2018 with the first
Hmm.
EP and then the last album. So Silver Talon. If I don't want to go too much to dissect the album because, like, as I said, there is a one single out, so it's
Yeah,
been a little bit, let's say, 5-ish years that's been
been a
released.
while.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
main sound, let's say, sound wise, what do you feel like to? I don't want to. Let's forget the label, like about punk rock, whatever. We don't care. As an objective, how would you describe the sound and the vibe? Let's say I have the vibes of Silver Talon
Yeah.
before the new single now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think previously we were kind of sort of just keeping in line with sort of the spellcaster kind of sound,
Okay.
but just making it like a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
A little bit heavier, a little more shreddy with solos, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then of course, bringing Wyatt into the fold, who's absolute powerhouse of a vocalist, right?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect as well. And then we just kind of have sort of like turned up the intensity, I think, with every
Okay.
sort of subsequent release. So
Yeah. With the
Becoming a Demon was sort of
yeah.
that was actually we started writing that as part of what was to become like the next Spellcaster album. And so
Okay.
that
Okay. Okay.
became
Okay. Yeah.
Becoming
You
a
understand.
Demon.
Yeah.
And then Decadence and Decay was kind of, just getting a little bit heavier,
Yeah.
And then with this new one, we're
Iron. Yeah.
kind of we're upping it more. So,
So it's
it's more just kind of like a real just kind of short, sort of almost like thrashy kind of song. So
that's cool. It's kind of, let's say that you're kind. It's not like a turning point or something, but it's like getting more heavier and also with the speed.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of, trying to condense things down, I think, a little
Yeah,
bit, not doing like I love songs that are like, 6, 7 minutes long, that sort of thing, but also
that's
kind of
that.
going back. Yeah. But, also kind of something to be said about going back to sort of the punk roots, right? Where it's like, here we go, 3 minutes.
It's
I think
yeah,
we
right.
even have a song. We got a
Yeah,
song that's coming out on the album that's even less than 3 minutes. So it's, it's just short.
the
And
punk, the
exactly.
punk hero showed up again.
Yeah. So, once a punk, always a punk. So,
So, and of course, like these because it was with, let's say, with decadence and decay that you got more well known in the music scene. Like, let's say,
mhm.
I would say worldwide, because I said that they know you in Italy, in Europe as well. But even if, like you told me before, you never played in Europe, but you were
Yeah,
getting
that's
well known.
crazy.
But let's say in the music scene, you get more well known. So with this new album that I don't know if there is kind of sort of whatever release p moment on time already set, but at least for the single out, I think you will become more well known. Like it's gonna be, because of course the name is there. I mean, I know myself the name Silver Talon even before you were, I know when you were playing with Leather, so I knew that. And
Okay, sweet.
yeah, so how, so I think the word is spreading music, and the who composed didn't know that. Like, the fuck, I didn't know that I was new that. So,
Right, right, right.
but
Cool. That's awesome to hear.
lyric wise,
Hmm.
what is that? Not the message like we're bringing peace, but what is the message, the topic, the whatever Silver Talon is bringing in the world, in the music?
Oh, I don't know. It kind of, I think it kind of varies. I think for us, we sort of get kind of labeled as kind of like a power metal kind of act, that sort of thing, right? That's, I
Like,
guess we're sort of in this like weird kind of genre where it's like, not quite thrash, but maybe a little bit heavier and darker than
yeah,
power metal, kind of people compare us to like Nevermore a lot because, it's really sort of the only other band that's kind of
kind of
um
the kind of
gotten in that
wave
sort of,
of
yeah, it's, sort of like people have described it as power metal for people that don't necessarily like power metal. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's fine. But, not to sort of differentiate ourselves from kind of
okay,
the other sort of power metal bands that are out there. Like we don't necessarily try to sing about like super fantastical things like, wizards and that kind
dragons,
of stuff. Yeah, dragons, that kind
knights,
of thing.
yeah,
But I think, especially with this one,
yeah,
we've kind of tried to put things into sort of more real life kind of scenarios. So,
we
you
need
know,
that. We are
yeah,
we have been too much in the world, especially after the COVID, in a fantastic world, because we couldn't go outside, so we have to live in
right, right,
a
right.
bubble. Now we have too many things happening, especially in these 26 days of 2020, 26 days of 2026. Too
Yeah,
many things
right.
happen in this the first month that really I have no idea what should. So we need to stick more with the reality, and especially, and that's I think the job of each one of us, especially who has a bigger voice, which is you artist. So which can be a musician or a painter or a photographer. So let's say that this new album will put you more like give it also, that's also punk, came from the punk.
Yeah,
Punk
exactly,
talks a lot
exactly.
about reality. So that's
Yep.
your inner punk is screaming,
Yeah, yeah,
let me get out.
exactly,
But you're still playing
exactly.
guitar though. You're not, you didn't take the bass back.
Yeah, I didn't take the bass. No. Yeah, no, Walter, our bass player, is he's much better at bass than I am. So I'll play the bass on the demo tracks when we're writing stuff.
Oh, that's so
And
you keep it, you take it for you.
yeah, and in fact, for some of the tracks on this last album, because he very much was not in the
Yeah,
punk scene, but I kind of had to go and tell him sort of like, hey man, you need to like simplify it a little bit. Like let's say
yeah,
kind of just punk, right? Just hold down the root, that
yeah,
sort of thing, which is
yeah.
not 100% his kind of oh no, I think I
No, I hear you. I
Does my
hear
mic
you.
go out?
I hear you. I hear you. You hear me? Because I
Can
can hear
Can you
you.
hear me? Sorry,
Yeah, I
my
hear you.
mic cut out.
No, I was hearing hear you perfectly.
Okay, perfect. But yeah,
Yeah.
going back to him and basically telling him like, hey, just kind of, make it a little bit less complicated, a little less busy, just sort of hold down the rhythm,
Yeah. It's gonna.
think punk, three
Yeah.
chords, there we go.
Yeah, and I think especially with all this information that are coming, like social whatever, we are busted with information. When something is faster and it gonna it immediately. So I'm sure
Yep.
that with a new single out and a new album that will be released, it's gonna get straightforward to the people directly. The message, not the message, but the sound, the music.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I definitely hope so.
yeah, and maybe there's gonna be a good chance to cross the pond finally.
Yeah, we would love
No,
to
I
do
have to
that.
do it because I think really you will see yourself that you will have fans here, so
Yeah.
you will see yourself.
Hell
But
yeah.
as but you mentioned before, you will have a short tour with Silver Talon in February.
Yes, yeah. So we're just doing a short little week-long tour,
Yeah,
to celebrate the release of the single. So we're going to basically from Portland to Texas. Our bass player lives in
yeah.
Austin, so he's flying to Portland, then we're
Okay.
playing a string of shows to Austin and then dropping him off and then coming
Yeah.
back home and
Oh,
then
go
going
ahead.
back to Texas for Hell's Heroes with
Yeah,
Leather.
yeah. We go back through in a while. So also, yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't know. I always say that in Portland there's so many talented musicians. There are Urban, there is Unto Others, Bewitcher, always
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely.
Bewitcher. There are fucking
Yeah.
Vitriol. What the fuck, guys? And fastest. I don't know what's going on. Fastest guitarist, fastest drummer. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
all the. If I jump one day in Portland, I'm gonna meet everyone. Hello, because
Yeah, yeah,
it's a really,
right.
really good scene, a beautiful music scene in Portland, and
Yeah,
all Oregon, I would say. It's
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
yeah.
And yeah, it just seems like in the last like decade or so, it's really bands have sort of been taking off and getting a lot of like
Oh,
international
hello.
attention. Oh, she's got a bed up
So
above here, so she's trying to get up there. But yeah, like in the last 10 years,
yeah,
it's really kind of been, taken seriously. Um,
exactly.
so I think previously, like the 2010s,
Yeah,
we were still out here playing, doing all that kind of
yeah,
stuff, but I think there were less eyes on us. But
yeah.
now,
More open.
exactly, yeah. Bands like,
Exactly.
Bewitcher, Vitriol, Unto
Yeah.
Others, um,
You
kind of more
every
in the
time.
limelight for sure.
And of course, in this tour that you're gonna, in this, let's say, short week tour, you're gonna perform new songs.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So we got, God, I think we got like four new songs that are
Okay.
in. So three, including Iron, the new single, of course.
Okay.
So yeah, we got
Okay.
quite a bit of new
So
stuff that
people
we've
that
been
will
trying on.
join, they can hear some new song of the upcoming album. That's cool though.
Yep,
But then
absolutely.
after a couple of not yet, a month, yeah, a month, something like that, or a couple of weeks, I don't
Hmm.
know, you will have to join back again for Health
Yeah.
Heroes with
Yep, exactly.
Leather. So how does this started with this with Leather? Because I mean, I know from her side, but I want to know from your side because how you get to know Leather as well because she's surrounded by a lot of musicians. So she
Yeah.
meets you, you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
talented.
Yeah. Yeah. So man, my old band Spellcaster played with Leather back in like 2015, 2014, 2015,
Okay.
something like that. We did the show in Chicago called I think it was called Ragnarocker at the time. Now it's
Yeah.
called Legions of Metal. And so Leather played. Um, and so I got to meet her then, and
Yeah.
mind blowing. It was
I know.
amazing. So
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my buddy Corey, who was in Spellcaster with me,
Of
who introduced
course.
me to all the old Chastain stuff.
Yeah.
We were roommates for a little while, and so he would always put it on as like our drinking music, right? So
Oh, that was the connection.
yeah, exactly. So, we were already primed, right? By the time we
Yeah.
were playing with Leather, we were just like, "Holy shit. Like, we get to hear all these Chastain songs live. Like this is so fucking cool." Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and then I talked to like Leather after the show, and she was just like super approachable, super friendly.
She's a
Just like,
strong good nature.
oh, this is amazing. She's like, oh yeah, that's great. Thanks for coming out. Like, in her typical sort of like, boisterous Leather way, right? She's just
Yeah.
like so larger than life, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, and from there, I kind of was social media friends with her, one of her
Yeah.
last guitar players, Vinny, from
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah.
And so he had been playing with her for a long time, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we had
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
followed each other on Instagram for a long time. Um, and then there was this show in Mexico
Yeah.
where some of the other members of the band that she was playing with in Brazil, because a lot of them are,
Yeah.
Brazilian
Yeah.
guys,
Like it. Yeah.
um, they couldn't necessarily get into Mexico without getting visas. So
Yeah.
they needed a guitar player and they needed one fast. So he just messaged me and he's like, "Can you learn the songs?" And I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Okay.
I love this stuff. I love Chastain. So
From
yeah, so then from there,
she
that
started.
show ended up getting canceled because reasons. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but yeah.
That's
But then, I was still kind of on the docket
yeah.
for playing with Leather. Oh, my cat jumping around.
Yeah. She's
Um
cute. We love her.
and yeah, so then, I was just sort of kept on the docket for playing Hell's Heroes, and then we also did
Yeah.
a gig in Seattle this last
Yeah.
year,
Yeah. Know
with,
about that. Yeah.
basically the other guys of Silver Talon being
Yeah.
the
Oh,
backing band. So
really?
we're kind of just, we're just sort of like mercenaries, just playing Leather stuff. So,
Yeah. It's
doing all this Chastain.
but yeah. But it's like, of course, like I always say, because I try myself in my mind when I was playing bass and practicing bass, playing myself just in song and picturing hearing Leather singing. I was like, what the fuck? Of course, like as a would say like, as a fan or someone that likes love Chastain, likes Chastain. David Chastain is an amazing guitarist. So
He
I
is.
would
Yeah.
say, how does what's for you learning that side? It's part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's uh, he's definitely, obviously, I think we have kind of a lot that, obviously it's hard to sort of take myself out of, kind of being influenced by what
Yeah,
David was doing
of
before,
course,
right? Because, the very sort of like neoclassical kind of
of
thing, like, right,
course.
like the
Yeah,
shreddy
yeah,
runs, all of this kind of stuff. And then sort of just going my own way and, finding other, it's like making a
um,
pie or whatever, you just get
yeah,
all these little ingredients, throw them in, and then
yeah,
that's
exactly.
your style. So then going back and then actually trying to kind of decipher some of the
Yeah,
Chastain stuff, right? Like the riff writing, all of that kind of stuff, I was really able to kind of lock into, I think.
yeah,
It made a lot of sense just kind of having that background of listening to those albums so
of
much.
course, because yeah,
Um,
because you were familiar with that. Okay, of course.
right, exactly. And then, but like trying to learn his lead playing style, sort of, note for note, like it's really hard. He has a very unique style.
Yeah,
Um, I try to do it justice, but there's some stuff that's just in his way of playing that I'm never going to be able to duplicate, just because he's
yeah, it's
a
really
lot of that stuff that he's playing, he's just kind of improvising and he's just making it up on the
yeah
spot. And that stuff is always the hardest to
to learn.
try to learn note for note,
Yeah,
because things just kind of happen when you're improvising.
of
It's
course.
never like 100% sort of on the beat. It's kind
Yeah,
of it's really hard to sort of dissect that stuff and to make it a repeatable sort of
especially if
thing.
it's improvising, because I think as well for you being on the set, maybe if it's there is on the stage, if there is some solo or some some parts came as some improvisation. I mean, is that
Right.
of course if it's an historical solo that is gonna say, but it always there is your way of playing it
E-
because
exactly.
you're not there making covers and changing. They're performing the songs that were with Leather, of course.
Right. Exactly. So, at a certain point, it's kind of like,
Yeah,
I kind of just want to sort of keep like the intensity of what was there in the original,
exactly.
and also kind of have that sort of there's just kind of a sound of like you don't necessarily know like where it's going, where it's gonna, you're kind of like it's like a speeding train, you don't know if it's gonna go off the rails or if it's gonna go home, that kind of thing. So that's what I kind of try to zero in on that, right? Making that sort of the speeding train kind of thing where you're not quite sure if it's gonna
but also,
if I'm gonna land it.
I think you're gonna perform also some Leather song from the last album.
Yeah.
So that's let's say that you don't have a like really easy role because you had to just go with the from Vinny to David. It was not easy. Different musician, different influences, and then your influences. So
right.
You're doing quite an effort. So, but it's I think like being friend of I don't know if you're friend with David, but also being friend with Vin is like kind of a fun way as well to go out there and play music and having fun. And plus with Leather, that it's really the strength of the nature. I would say always there's no one else on the planet for me that could stand at their level, her level. Never, no one.
Right.
They can bring everyone to me. I'm gonna say, no, I'm sorry. In fact, I think I'm the only person existing that has more than 4 or 5 tattoos of her songs. And I'm gonna do another one. She doesn't know. I will do another one in a couple of days, and I'm gonna send her a message, like a picture. Here you are. Because she's going around to telling to the people that I have their songs tattooed. Even before Off of Your Head was released, I told to Leather, send me the lyrics. She sent me the lyrics before the song was released, and I went to put it all out here. I was like, okay. Because you're gonna love this song. I said, okay, perfect. I'm gonna do.
That's amazing.
Because that's I think she's like her when she's in the stage or like you're talking with her. She gives you this fucking boost of energy or motivation that you're gonna. I can keep on doing things with her like for 3 days in a row without sleeping, I guess. So
yeah. It's incredible how much energy she has, especially being in her 60s, and the rest of her band is like in their 30s, that sort of thing.
That was ageless. She could be
right. Yeah. But I mean, she's just go all the time. Yeah. And just like, big energy. And these guys in their 30s are like, oh, I'm so tired. My back hurts. I didn't sleep well last night. Oh. Leather's out here just like, we're going.
I one of my first promises that I made there was like, the first time you're coming back after the pandemic life, I'm gonna be there. And it was in Brazil. I said, okay, it's in Brazil, I can't. But then it was, I keep it true. And there was such expensive flight, expensive accommodation, was lost in the middle of somewhere. So I haven't the flight in the night. So how the fuck am I supposed to go back in the airport? And I was like,
right.
And she was even offered like, I'm gonna call. I said, okay, I don't care if because I wanted to see her live, because once you're gonna see your own, like your own idol, it's something, you're gonna hear the music and have fun. Of course, I can go to US and meet her and have fun together. That's what I will do. If I knew that people from Italy, they wouldn't join us and heroes, I would do the same, but they didn't tell me. So,
right.
But I told her to join, to just come to check on you, to just join and say hi from me to all of you there and to Leather. But there will be a time, I know for sure, that I will see her life, if there's going to be other life, because there's going to be other life. That's between me and Leather.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring her here in Italy.
Yeah.
How I want to put her, all of you here in Italy. I'm trying to really, I know she loves Italy and Sicily, because she's from here. So I want to try to put her here somewhere playing, because there she has so many people that loves really they knows you, the North Leather is going to be a sold out show. I know for a fact. Especially it's gonna be a sold out. I know for a fact. Yeah, I mean, I have even from UK people, when I'm talking, people taking from like Vine. Oh, this is my influence, but that's Leather. The shock waves. Wait, I know her. Wait.
So yeah.
But it was really so. Let's just for make a summary. So you will have the single is out. There's gonna be, I guess, a single released towards the way of before the album is gonna be released, other singles, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we'll do more singles, all that kind of stuff.
And there is gonna be the tour. So for all the people that are in this range of area, join. And then the live shows in Els and Heroes in it's in Houston. It's in Houston, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Houston. Yeah.
So with Leather, and then there is gonna be the release of the album towards the 2026 kind-ish.
Yeah. We don't have a set date for it quite yet, but yeah, it's done. It'll be out.
Let's hope to put you in Europe, to bring in Europe next this year, next year for sure. I mean, you have an album, you have to promote it, so that's the rule. At least at the festival, you know, because once you are in the festival, and I think you know it, you can play around surrounding the area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's definitely the goal. Definitely something we want to make happen for you know this next year, between this album and the next one. You know, definitely getting over to Europe is a big goal. So
yeah, of course, but of course, I think that it's gonna be European tour, American tour as well going on, and I mean, and then Leather for me. What can I say? Give her a hug from me, and it was really a pleasure meeting you, Bryce. And
yeah, likewise.
I will send my Italian friend to say hello to Els and Heroes.
All right, yeah.
Have a good rest of the day. I'm looking forward to hear more of Silver Talon.
All right, heck yeah! Thank you so much.
Bye.